Miss Madaleno asked me to make you guys a YouTube video to help you guys learn this year's outdoor show makeup. Overall, these videos are going to be made to complement my skin tone, so please be aware of that throughout the videos and make sure you're complimenting your own skin tone as well. Okay, so let's get started. I highly recommend using some type of primer. I actually do already have my primer on, so I'm just going to jump right in and starting with foundation. So with foundation, you are going to need a beauty blender. These will make your foundation look so much smoother. If you do not want a full coverage foundation, you should start off maybe using a powder or a light coverage foundation or like a BB cream. I personally, as you can see, there's quite a bit of acne, so I go in with a full coverage foundation. Put that right on top of my beauty blender, and I just kind of blob it all over the face. Is your T-zone. You always want to start in there first. So I come in and I work my way up the bridge of the nose. Important note here, make sure you blend down here. From here on, you now have two options. You can go in with bronzer, or you can go in with a darker concealer. I'm gonna go in with both, so at least you guys can learn a little bit of both ways. So I like to go in, I personally like these ones with the tips because it makes it a lot easier to apply. And I just draw where I want this to be. So I'm gonna go in with now a powder, bronzer, and go in circular motions. Now you do have to remember with show makeup, you have to make your makeup pretty dramatic for people from the crowd to see it. No one's gonna be super up close to your face, so it's not a huge deal if your bronzer is a little dark. Personally, I like blush. There is a tad bit of blush in. Go in right on top of your bronzer and onto your cheekbones. Just a nice neutral blush. I'm now going to move on to eyes and brows. I use a dip brow, like a pomade. Go back in with a brow brush. Alright, now that the brows are on, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing eyeshadow. So, this is one of the few brands I will name because it is probably the most perfect palette to use for this specific eyeshadow. And that's going to be the Shade and Light Eye. That's by Kat Von D. That being said, this is an expensive palette. I am not saying go out and get this palette. What I am saying is that these cool tones are the perfect tones to use for this eyeshadow. So this is what I will be using. I'm sure you could find these cool tones in a smaller palette at like Target or wherever you shop for makeup. And I'm going to start with a neutral tone and put it all over the eye. From there, I am going to go in with a more precise brush, still fluffy, still blendable, and I'm going to go in throughout the crease and blend upwards. So I'm going to use this tone right here, On the outer corner, make like a little ball and blend up. Now the key to doing a smoky eye like this is to do things gradually. Do not put a whole bunch of product on your brush and then just throw it on your eye. Also, fun fact, if you leave your eyes open while you do your makeup, it is supposed to come out more symmetric. Then you're going to go from the middle of the lid over with this neutral gray tone. So now I'm going to go in with the next darkest tone. I'm going to go in with this tone right here. So same motion, I'm going to go into the corner, circular motion, and work upwards. Now when I want my shadow to go a little bit past my crease like this and above my crease, I usually take my brush out at an angle, I line it up from my eye to my brow, and I lay it flat, and then I start blending upwards. That's just a little trick that I discovered works for me. Clean brush, and I just brush on the edges here. Alright, so while I caught up on this eye, I did accidentally fill in both eyes. So same technique as before with the lighter gray, you're going to go in with the darker gray and just tap your way inwards, just adding a nice blend between those colors. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with a highlighting tone. Usually with a highlighting tone, I like to go in with more of a pressed brush, nice hard firm brush. I'm starting with a slightly more neutral, right here, tone. Having technical difficulties, so during those technical difficulties I went and I blended the darker color into the middle of the eyes inward. I'm gonna go back in with the hard brush and go to another lighter tone, this one being the coolest of them all, very white. And then I like to blend left to right when doing this. The reason why I do so is because I don't want to blend downwards into the eyeshadow that I just blended up. I'm going in with a smaller brush, the same exact color, and going to the very inner crease of my eye. Now again, I really like this dotting motion. I use it a lot. I'm dotting, 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 dotting. And then from there, I go and I smudge upwards. As you can tell, I've been keeping my eyes open for this. The reason why I do that is so I can see exactly where my crease goes in. I don't want to overdraw this line, because it looks a little funny when you have white everywhere around the edge of your eye. Same color, and just pat my way up. And this is just blending all these colors into that crease. So now we're moving on to eyeliner. As you probably see in the picture, this eyeliner is very thin and very dark. So I highly recommend a liquid liner with this. If you really cannot handle a liquid liner, start with a pomade liner, and again, just like my brows, go in with a angled precision brush and learn that way. So when I go in with my liquid liner, I usually like to start right about here. And I just do nice light strokes. And you'll start to see the closer I get in towards the eye is the more angled I leave my brush. That way it's barely touching the skin. So you'll see I brought it all the way to my inner corner. Now this is the tricky part. This is a long, thin wing. So again, just like I said with the eyeshadow earlier, I like to go from the corner of my eye Now once I have that line made, I have to make a connection. And I'll go right below the eyeliner. And make a nice, clean line. Now, as you'll see in this eyeshadow, it is sharp. There is no eyeshadow below that wing. Darkest color of the cool tones and just touching up below my lash line. Lastly, now we're going to be moving on to lips and highlight. The reason why I'm doing highlight is the end. It's really what I always finish my makeup off with. I do not do it during my contouring stage. So as you can see in the photo, Miss Magdaleno really wants a really dark burgundy lip. I typically overline my lips, so that natural smudging and, you know, mushing your lips together causes it to overline itself. So once I think my bottom lip is pretty decent, I'll go back in on the top and start at the, I don't know what part of your lip is called, I guess like the edge right here. So that's how I do my lips. Next I'm going to go back in with my highlight. And this is my last step. I just like to go up to the top of my cheekbones and blend in a circular motion. I just like to go in right above, right below my brow, just to add a little shimmer so it just seems natural all around. And I blend that onto the one on my cheek. Alrighty, so this is the finished look for you guys. All in all, I try to break it down as much as possible. As I did say, or might have said earlier, that this is only my second YouTube video and it is not easy to film one of these things. So I did try my best, but if you are still confused, please put it in the comments below and I will try my best to clear it up for you. Aside from that, please like and then subscribe to the auxiliary page. I hope you guys have a great time at band camp and I wish you guys a great year. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.